Let's be crystal clear on this 4th of July. Trump and Hegseth were absolutely correct to rename the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Before 1939, the military was much smaller than what it would become by the end of the Second World War. Then the Cold War happened, where secret ventures of the CIA undid the democratic will of foreign nations, often backing brutal dictators for economic interests of American capitalism. Then came the 80s, where films like Top Gun and Iron Eagle gave every American patriotic erections, and box office smashes starring Schwarzenegger and Stallone made the murder of others over the top and radical. While it was still sold as defense, Americans began to cheerlead unilateral assaults, excited to watch camera footage of death and destruction distributed by high-tech missiles in the Middle East. Nobel Peace Prize winner Barack Obama would become the drone president. 2 days after taking the oath of office, Obama signed an executive order which revoked the Bush-era directives authorizing torture and re-emphasized international conventions and federal laws prohibiting torture. The following day, Obama authorized 2 Central Intelligence Agency drone strikes in northwest Pakistan, which combined killed an estimated 1 militant and 10 civilians, including between 4 and 5 children. The directives of the second Trump administration's military were never laid out on the campaign trail. They were laid out on the Access Hollywood tape and in the October 22, 2024 New York Times interview with the first Trump administration's chief of staff, retired Marine General John Kelly. The Trump administration unapologetically does natural extensions of what every president since Reagan has done. Committing war crimes by bombing speedboats in the Caribbean and Pacific, extrajudiciously murdering seafarers, instead of Obama using drone strikes to murder 10 civilians, including between 4 and 5 children, and then authorizing 540 more drone strikes, killing an estimated 324 civilians. Kidnapping Maduro in a blitzkrieg strike over fentanyl, declaring Marco Rubio viceroy of Venezuela, instead of assaulting and destabilizing Iraq for make-believe weapons of mass destruction. Creating a humanitarian crisis in Cuba to try and force regime change instead of using economic warfare to starve Iran into negotiations, harming average citizens in less obvious and less visible ways than dropping bombs. Hi, I'm Matt, they, them, and I'm attempting to represent the 2nd District of Massachusetts in Congress as an independent. One of my key voting principles is actually ending foreign wars. That has to start with reining in the executive branch. In the meantime, any media outlet that continues to refer to it as the Department of Defense is feigning ignorance and doing a disservice to American citizens about what is actually happening. War Secretary Pete Hegseth continues to push people out so that he can stack leadership with loyalists. That word doesn't mean something different here than it does with Iran, not with this administration. People need to understand it has become the Department of War so that we can return to a Department of Defense.